الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How is everybody doing? So how many more days until Ramadan? With today, 5 days. So it's almost there. Some of us smile, some of us are concerned, am I right? It's okay, inshallah. There is a barakah, and it doesn't matter how many challenges we face, huge barakah. We just need to take opportunities of it. Today, alhamdulillah, it's a beautiful Friday. We do have 3 prayers today, inshallah. 1, 2:15 and 3:30. Few, inshallah, announcements. Make dua for our own brother Abdul Wahid, who is going through radiation and chemo, and he is not feeling the best today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him speedy recovery. He's a good brother. We all testify, we know him. That post is his post. He always sits out there. And I always tell him, alhamdulillah, that post is full of barakah for everybody, because he's a good brother. Make dua for him. Young brother. But sometimes diseases come to young too. May Allah give him speedy recovery. Make dua for brother Safed Salashi, who passed away 2 days ago. We had janazah yesterday. May Allah give him Jannah and to the family sabr. Sister Salma Ahmed, mother of Nurjahan Begum, she's wife of our brother Akas. She passed away in Bangladesh. We make dua for her. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give her guidance of Jannah to the family sabr. Make dua for Sister Nermeen, one of our administrators. She's sick during these few days. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give her speedy recovery. Make dua for Liam Eden, who is sick. May Allah give him speedy recovery, inshallah. Brother Ishrat's wife, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, brother Ishrat, a very good brother from our community. May Allah give her, inshallah, speedy recovery and to you sabr. You know, brothers and sisters, this is all lecture that we can give about. When we come into a state of being sick, that's where we are measured as husbands and wives. And that's where we are measured as Muslims. It's easy to give up. That's the time when we have to stand with one another, when things don't look good. And that's where we build trust with one another in most difficult moments. And trust is very fragile. And Allah make us of those who stand with one another, doesn't matter what. Make dua for brothers Sayyid Layaqat. He's still going through struggles with his health. Brother Muhammad's father, Muhammad Abdullah Bhatti, very sick in hospital in Pakistan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him speedy recovery. Make dua for Qazi Muhammad Yusuf, passed away yesterday in Bangladesh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him guidance of Jannah and to the family sabr. What else? Alhamdulillah. Make dua for yourself. Actually, start dua with yourself. Rabbi ighfirli wa liwalidayya wa lilmu'minin. It's a Quranic lesson for us. Start dua with yourself. Because if you feel comfortable, if you feel confident, if you are well, you will be able to make dua for everybody else. But if you are not, in Canada we say those you cannot give what you don't have. You cannot give what you don't have. So make dua for yourself first. Make dua for your families. Don't make dua against each other. Don't make dua against your children or your spouse. Maybe there is a moment when it would be accepted and then you will be sorry for it. Make dua for our sick brothers and sisters, and there are many of them, including in this masjid. Even though they are sick, they are coming, they want to be part of it. And actually when we are sick, that's when even more desire comes into our heart, because we want to go there. Make dua for those who have passed on, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept their akhirat. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
If you don't mind, just fill the gaps in front of yourself. I can see many spots, and we would like, inshallah, those who come forward to get blessings and benefits and barakah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by filling gaps in front of themselves and coming forward in the masjid, so that we could allow others, inshallah, come, not walk over our shoulders. So, الحمد لله رب العالمين، نستعينه ونستغفره ونسأله الكرامة فيما بعد الموت لنا ولجميع المؤمنين. نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا، من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن سيدنا وسندنا ومولانا محمدا أرسله الله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون بعد. قال الله تعالى عز وجل في الكتاب الكريم: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال أيضا: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد اتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. وقال في آية أخرى: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الناس قد جاءتكم موعظة من ربكم وشفاء لما في الصدور وهدى ورحمة للمؤمنين. عن عبد الله بن عمرو رضي الله عنه قال: سئل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: أي الناس أفضل يا رسول الله؟ قال: كل مخموم القلب وصدوق اللسان، كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Respected brothers, sisters, youth, children, and esteemed elderly, Alhamdulillah, Ramadan is already around the corner. 5 more days. It is a blessed time in which we should focus more on our hearts than we do on our stomachs. Indeed, there are many preparations for iftars, whom we will have them with, where we will have them, what kind of food. But this is the time, actually, month of Ramadan is the month of qulub. It's month of our hearts. And therefore we should redirect our focus towards inner self, towards our relations with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Through siyam, through prayer, through dua, through Quran, through tawbah, istighfar, through spiritual growth, by developing quality of taqwa, through developing heart that is known as qalb salim or qalb mahmoom. I will explain what it means, as well as through forgiving others and asking them to forgive us. In a nutshell, Ramadan is the month to get clean with Allah and to get clean with people. Month of Ramadan is the month to get clean with Allah and to get clean with people. Indeed, we should make a paradigm shift in terms of our relations with Ramadan. Instead of focusing more on physical needs, we should focus more on spiritual needs. Focus from physical realm to spiritual realm. But ironically, and we know that very well individually, in many of our lives, there is an opposite. We focus more on iftars than we focus on the hearts. The intent of Ramadan, of course, we need to focus on iftars. We need to have gatherings with our brothers and sisters. But that's not the main intent. We need it because of energy that we need throughout the month of Ramadan. But the focal point should be our heart. Why the focal point should be our heart? Because the heart is the greatest asset that we will bring in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. The day, the greatest asset that we bring, no benefit even from our own families, in our own kids, in our own wealth, except for people who come with qalb salim, pure, clean heart. What is this clean heart? Abdullah ibn Amr radiyallahu anhu, he said, and companions, subhanAllah, they would always ask questions. They would always quiz Prophet, peace be upon him. They wanted to get out anything they can, fast. And they did it. And when you look into Prophet's sallallahu alayhi wa sallam speeches, they were always short, but to the point, crisp, messages, spiritual, educational, social, always to the point. This particular hadith is as such. He said, Ya Rasulullah, ayyun nasi afdal. See what they want to know? Who are the best? I want to shoot for the best. I asked Ya Rasulullah, tell me, what is my target to be the best person? The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, and there are many riwayat, one of them, كل مخموم القلب وصدوق اللسان. Every person with swept clean heart and truthful tongue. They said, Ya Rasulullah, صدوق اللسان نعرفه. We know who is truthful person. We know it. But what we don't know, فما مخموم القلب. What is a person whose heart is swept clean? And then Prophet, peace be upon him, gave details. He said, هو قلب التقي النقي لا إثم فيه ولا بغي ولا غل ولا حسد. Subhanallah, subhanallah. It's the heart that is fearful of Allah, mindful of Allah. It is the heart that is clean from any dirt, pure, no sin in it, no transgression in it, no rancor or hasad or envy. But that was not enough to them. They said, Ya Rasulullah, who shows signs of this heart? Qalb mahmum. And he said, الذي يشنو الدنيا ويحب الآخرة. One who is not much concerned about dunya, but rather is concerned about akhirah, final destination. But that was not again enough to them. They say, Ya Rasulullah, tell us who is that person who shows signs? And then Prophet, peace be upon him, went down into the details. He said, مؤمن في خلق حسن. Subhanallah. That's what I said at the very beginning. Getting clean with Allah and getting clean with people. Mu'min, a person who believes in Allah. Believing in Allah is not just saying it. It's not just having it in the heart. Belief is in the heart and in action, in deeds, in akhlaq. That is what we as believers have to realize. So it's a mu'min fi khuluqin hasan. That's the goal of Ramadan. Actually, if we check out the hadith and ayat in the Quran and the Sunnah, we'll find out the goal of Ramadan is definitely to re-establish our relations with Allah and re-establish good relations with people. So, what gives us that special maqam, station with Allah, is our hearts. What kind of hearts? Heart that does not allow darkness of sins resides in them. No shirk, no munkar, no shirk. Not only that, it is the heart that does not allow hypocrisy, hatred, aggression, envy to reside inside them. Again, we could see, as far as first category, shirk, shubuhat, munkarat, it relates to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When it comes to anger, when it comes to jealousy, when it comes to transgressions and aggressions, it relates to people. It is the heart that is known to its owner. It is the heart known to its owner. Only when we know our hearts, as Sahib ibn Abdullah said, we will recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because that's the station from where our belief starts. He said, وَإِذَا عَرَفَ نَفْسَهُ عَرَفَ مَقَامَ مِنْ رَبِّهِ. When a person knows himself or herself, they recognize their maqam, their station with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah. And if you really want to know where your station with Allah, you should look into where Allah is with you. If you and I want to know where we are in the books of Allah, we have to look into where Allah is with us in our lives. Imam al-Ghazali, rahmatullahi alayhi, 12th century Muslim jurist and theologian, he said, Qalb Salim, it's the heart that knows God, that strives towards God, and the heart that is near to God. So we ask ourselves, when we are talking, inshallah, about preparedness for Ramadan, why the heart is so much important, why it does have so much big prominence in Islam, specifically during the month of Ramadan. Because my brothers and sisters, the heart is the place where our intentions are. And niyatu mahalluha al-qalb. That is where our intentions are, not in our brains. That is where we form why we want to do certain things, why I want to fast, why I want to give my charity, why I want to go for a prayer. The heart is where divine gaze is focused. Allah doesn't look into our appearances. Allah doesn't look into your origin. Allah doesn't look into your wealth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks into our hearts. وَيَنْظُرُ إِلَىٰ قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُمْ. That's where gaze of divine is focused. The heart is where Quran is understood. Like here, in the hearts. فَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Don't you ponder over the Quran, the ayat of the Quran, or on your hearts are locks. So understanding is in the hearts. Sufyan al-Thawri, rahmatullahi alayhi, said, I was granted understanding of the Quran, but when I accepted the gift of Sultan, my understanding was removed from me. Intentions, right? Intentions are so important and essential for us, specifically in the month of Ramadan. The heart is where taqwa is. Taqwa is not in appearance, right? Taqwa is in the heart. At-taqwa hahuna, as Prophet peace be upon him said, or in the hadith mentioned, where Prophet peace be upon him said that qalb al-makhmoom huwa qalb at-taqi. Qalb, or heart, that is fearful of God. Thus we notice, my brothers and sisters, that hearts are essential in our lives as believers. That's a main goal to be taken care of during the month of Ramadan. Why this is so? Because our spiritual life is subject to many sensitivities of the heart, which in turn is subjected to many diverse influences, be they positive or negative. Today you may feel that your iman is through the roof. Tomorrow you are struggling. And that's normal. Iman yazdad wa yanqus. Iman increases and decreases, depending on our relations, depending on our deeds, depending on our actions. Our hearts, my brothers and sisters, by its nature, are constantly flipping. Imam al-Ghazali mentions examples the Prophet peace be upon him said, and they are so vivid, and they are so expressive. He said, all hearts are like sparrow turning around. You have seen a sparrow, how it fast turns around? And then he said, our hearts are changing like a pot of water when it's boiling. And then he said, our hearts are like a feather in an open area when wind blows. Feather flips around. That's exactly how our hearts are acting. And that is the reason why we have a duty to take care of our hearts, specifically so in the month of Ramadan. Actually, our hearts have rights on us that must be fulfilled. Otherwise, we'll be lost. And the first of these rights is to adorn the heart with your faith. To adorn the heart with faith. To beautify it. Our Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us that there is an organ in our bodies. If that organ is sahih, if that organ is right, everything else will be right. ألا إن في الجسد مضغة إذا صلحت صلح الجسد كله ألا وهي القلب. That's the reason why Prophet Muhammad told us to make this beautiful dua. اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا. Subhanallah. Oh Allah, make Iman love in our hearts. See, you can do everything, but we also have to make dua to Allah to help us love Iman, وزينه, and purify Iman in our hearts. Make it attractive to us. Make it go for it. وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان أولئك هم الراشدون. And despise to us, Ya Allah, disbelief, sin, and disobedience to you. وَاجْعَلْنَا مِنَ الرَّاشِدِينَ, and make us of those who will be guided. That's a dua. Basically, if you want to adore, to purify our Iman during month of Ramadan, we seize that opportunity, inshallah. Illuminate your hearts with the Quran. Enlighten your hearts with the Quran during the month of Ramadan. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he seized the opportunity the most in the month of Ramadan to get the blessings of the Quran. Quran, my brothers and sisters, as Quran tells us, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ قَدْ جَاءَتْكُمْ مَوْعِظَةٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. A counsel or advice came from your Creator, your Rabb. وَشِفَاءٌ لِمَا فِي الصُّدُورِ, and a cure, medicine for what is in your sudur, in your chests, what is in your heart. وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةٌ for whom? لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. It's a guidance and mercy for people who believe. And we said people of belief are people who believe it in the hearts and who express it in their actions. Number 3, duty towards our heart is to guard our hearts against poisons and sins and diseases. It's a duty. Why? Because sins, diseases, poisons cover the heart and then don't allow light to come into it. كَلَّا بَلْ رَانَ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ مَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. And why they come onto our hearts? Because of that what we did. Because of our actions. Because of what we said. Because of how many people we have hurted. كَلَّا بَلْ رَانَ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ. What is ran, according to Muslim scholars? آثَارُ الْمَعَاصِي عَلَى الْقُلُوبِ. These are impacts, negative impact of sins on our hearts. And they could come from amrad al-shubuhat as well as amrad al-shahwat. They could come from diseases of doubts as well as diseases of desires that we could have in our lives. Number 4, nurture the heart with softness. Nurture your heart with softness. I personally believe that all, and that's my assumption, and I think I'm right, All of these challenges that humanity faces today is because of qulub qasiyah. Because of harsh-hearted hearts. When people lose softness in their hearts, in their marriage, when people lose softness in their hearts with their children, when people lose softness in their hearts with their parents, with their relatives, with their brothers and sisters from the community, with neighbor, Muslim or non-Muslim, that's a sign of loss. A person came to Prophet peace be upon him and said, Ya Rasulullah, he shaka عن النبي صلى الله إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم عن قسوة القلب. He complained about this harshness of the heart. The Prophet peace be upon him told him, إن أردت تلين قلبك فاطعم المسكين وامسح رأس اليتيم. If you want your heart to be soft, feed the needy and tap the head or touch the head of an orphan. Basically, be kind to him. Alhamdulillah, month of Ramadan is Shahr al-Mu'asat. It's month of sharing and caring. You really have to give and develop that sense. Bring tranquility into your hearts. That's another right. Bring peace and tranquility with shukr. Scientific studies and human experience tells us that more material values does not increase overall happiness in our lives. Running after marked clothes, after Facebook, likes, doesn't help. Doesn't matter how much we run after it. الغنى في القلب والفقر في القلب. As Prophet peace be upon him said in Hadith Tabarani. الغنى في القلب والفقر في القلب. Wealth, richness is in the heart as poverty is in the heart. وارض بما قسم الله لك تكن أغنى الناس. Be happy with what you have, you'll be the wealthiest and richest. Pray constantly to Allah for your heart. Ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Oh, one who turns qulub, let my heart be straight, let my heart be strong on the path of Islam. رَبَّنَا لَا تُزِغْ قُلُوبَنَا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَيْتَنَا. Oh Allah, do not let our hearts deviate from the path. My brothers and sisters, let us pray. Oh Allah, in this Ramadan, help us to adorn our hearts with Iman. Oh Allah, illuminate our hearts with the Quran. Oh Allah, guard our hearts against ma'asi. Oh Allah, nurture our hearts with karam. Bring tranquility, sakina, in our hearts with shukr. Keep us in constant prayer for our hearts, O turner of the hearts, so that we could be strong in your faith. Guide us to realize the true purpose of life and help us on that path so that we can reach you, Ya Rabb, with qalb salim. أتوب إلى الله وأستغفر الجميع. إن السؤال كما أتوب إلى الله وأستغفره في يوم القيامة. ولا أحسن الكلام بعبد الله كلام الله الملك العزيز الأعلام كما قال الله تبارك وتعالى في نبي الكلام وإذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له وأنصتوا لعلكم ترحمون. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الدين عند الله. الحمد لله حمدا كاملا والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين تعظيما لنبيه وتكريما لفخامة شأن شرف صفيه. فقال عز وجل من قائل مخبرا وأمرا إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا يا رب العالمين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم